Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? So we're just breaking down Josh Donaldson. He's been talking on MLB Network a lot. So hopefully you've caught some of the earlier videos that we made on this last couple days. It's going to keep breaking down some of the main topics that he talked about. Today, what I want to talk about is when he was talking about how he was trying to time his forward move towards the ball and his hands going back at the same time. He talked about how this allows him to stay balanced and in a powerful position. But I wanted to get a little bit more in depth with it and kind of show what he's talking about. So here's the move he's talking about. When he's going to start to move forward, and as he's moving forward, you can see that he's really pulling back, right? So he talks about getting his hands back, and you can see his hands are definitely moving back. But you can also see this arm, his he's pulling back basically with his back. So it's almost like a rowing action. And people talk about um, using the scap and clamping the scap down and all this stuff. A little bit more technical terms, but realistically, what he's doing is he's pretty much resisting with his upper body. So he's pulling back, right? He's using his back, and he's resisting with his upper body as his lower body is moving forward. So, Donaldson talks about having a string and pretending that there's a string basically attached from the top of his bat. So he's talking about having this string that kind of runs from the top of his bat to his front foot, and he's going to try to stretch that. So as he's moving, you can see, right here, if you look at his foot, pretend that's not the best line, pretend there's a string from his foot to his bat, and he's going to stretch, or from the foot to the hands, I should say, and you're going to see that distance right here gets bigger. So he's pulling back as he's moving. So he talks about allowing him to stay balanced, right? Um, and stay in this powerful position. But what it really does too is, when you swing, the swing's got to work from the ground up. So if you don't resist with your upper body, if you don't get into this position where your scap is kind of clamped down and you've pulled back and you're using your back, well then the hands get involved too early, right? And then it becomes an upper body swing. It becomes a push swing. So you're just using basically your hands and your arms to generate the power. And what you want is to be able to utilize your whole body, and you want it to work from the ground up. So when you're resisting with your upper body and your hands are kind of setting back or pulling back, whatever you want to call it, as your foot's coming down, you can see how the swing really starts from the ground up. So he starts to turn, and here he starts to turn the barrel, right? So he's basically turning his forearms are basically turning the barrel backwards, right? But the swing, the hands are not pushing the bat, so the lower body is starting to turn, the forearms are starting to turn the barrel, and that allows the body to really work and really create some of the energy instead of what you see at younger levels a lot is you don't see this position right here, and you just see a lot of pushing with the hands, right? And there's no bat speed, and you're not able to get the bat on path as early as you want. You definitely don't get the bat speed you want, and you don't get a whip or a snap um, with the bat into the hitting zone. And Donaldson also talks a little bit about this. He talks about how so many kids and so many players are taught to, use your hands, use your hands, use your hands, that they become really hand dominant and upper body dominant because that's all they've been told. And so they have these really pushy swings that aren't able to create a lot of bat speed because that's all they've been taught, that's all they've heard, that's all they know. And once you start to kind of learn how to get into this position, how to kind of use your back a little bit more, how to get your hands set back into this position, and how to kind of get this feeling of resisting as you're turning the lower body. That's when the swing really starts to happen. That's where you're gonna start hitting some balls, and you're gonna create bat speed that you never knew that you had because you've never been able to create it before because you haven't been using your body the proper way. So hopefully this makes sense. We've made a lot of videos on this in the past, so go check them out, talking about getting into this type of position to hit. So if you have any questions, leave in the comment section below. Share the channel with all your friends, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. and we will talk to you later.